Welcome to a little new series here, guys. It's week one of my meet prep. Day one was some deadlifts. Usually I go sumo style, but you'll see in a few seconds. After this set of just a warm up, I was really tight in my adductors. It happens when I squat relatively close to when I deadlift and I'm still kind of sore. This thing always cramps up. I can always tell by the time when I pick up the bar with 135 how it's going to be. And so I kind of had to adjust and go with a conventional stance as you see here. On this day I was working up to 82.5% or 80%, sorry, for 3 reps. That ended up being about 490 for me. I think I ended up going 5 plates just because I'm stubborn. I wanted to put 5 plates on there. And I was too lazy to put the rest on there. What you see, that little red band there for compression, it's even used for compression to kind of hold that hammy in place, kind of make it feel a little bit better. Because even when I went down for conventional, it feels better than I would be going sumo, but it still was nagging me a little bit. So throwing the band on there helps take some of the tension off. So that's why you see a little floss band up there. After my working sets, here I think this is my first working set right here. I decided to say screw the belt, take it off. I've been doing all my training in the off-season beltless, so I was trying to go as beltless as long as I can. I'll tell you later, but I got a little torch from this day just because the conventional, I can't quite get down as far as I need to on conventional, so my back tends to round a little bit, so my back is a little sore. That's why I don't go conventional. But this is my top set right here. 490 for 3 reps. I believe so, yeah, there's 2 and then, that was 3, sorry. And then I get into my working sets where I go 6 sets of 4 at 65%, which is 390 with a minute break in between. These felt pretty good. It's coming off the ground really well. I've been having kind of a left forearm issue that when I supinate up, so my palm up, kind of hurts a little bit. So I've been dealing with that. Here's my boy Dorf hitting his top set of 3. One of my best friends working out with me. He's training for the same meet I am as well. He's going to hopefully be in the 220 weight class, maybe get down to 198, we'll see. I'm going to be competing at 181. The reason I like going sumo is that I can get a little bit lower to the ground. And I don't have to pull the bar quite as far. And I can use my big ass that I have to get the bar through. With sumo, the hardest part about the lift is getting it off the ground. So anytime I can get a little bit lower to the ground so I have to pull it less, it's going to help out a lot. So I will try and mix in some conventional, help my explosion off the floor. I'll do 1 1/4 reps from a deficit, that kind of stuff. Here you'll see kind of my accessory work. Got hits up some chest support dumbbell rows here. Supposed to be bench over rows, but like I said, my back was a little torched from the conventional, so I went chest support instead of bent over rows. You can see Dorfman over there doing bent over rows. Next up was shrugs. Superset with some hammy curls. I don't know if I put that in the video here. Just trying to build up that upper back, so when that weight kind of hits our hands on the deadlift, we're not worried about it. Here's my Tuesday workout, just kind of getting some cardio in, some strong or powerlifting cardio, just some jump rope, kettlebell swings. Did 750 jump ropes and then 100 kettlebell swings, just getting the blood flowing. I gotta do something on my off days to make me feel like I've done something, otherwise I get antsy. Here's day 2, working on my bench press. Here I'm warming up. This day I was working up to 82.5% for 3 with pause reps. That weight ended up being 255. Felt pretty good. My bench press is by far my weakest lift of the 3. So I'm always trying to find little tweaks to kind of figure it out. That's a little something I've tried. I've seen from super training, using the rack to get me in position right there. To get that nice big arch and kind of drive my shoulders down to the bench. So my butt tends to lift up a lot. As you can see, my hips kind of rising right there. I'm trying to fix that issue, but I'm kind of feeling it as we go. Here's some of my warm-up sets. When I get into my bench press and my squats, you can see kind of in the bottom part of the screen there, right by my left, or it'll be my right hand. I use a velocity tracker for my bar. This one particular one I have is the Squats and Science Open Barbell V2. It's the second version of this model. I do some auto regulation with this just to see if I'm on track with the weights, with the speed of the weight that I'm doing. Because each percentage of your max has a certain velocity range that we aim for. And if we're not in there during this certain training day, then we know that we should back off, or if it were faster than we expect, we can up the weight a little bit to get a little bit more volume in there because our body can handle it that way. Got good sleep, you ate well the day before, you feel good, we go up, and if it's the opposite, we just go down. This is my top set of 255. Throwing it down. I changed my grip a little bit from my second competition. I went closed grip last competition. I'm trying to go back to open grip because I started having some elbow problems. You can see my compression cuff in my left elbow to kind of help me out with I was having kind of some ulnar nerve issues. So going open grip really helps it out and helps me get into a better position with my shoulders. Keeping those elbows nice and tight, using my lats to kind of get the bar off my chest. After that, top set, came back down for some close grip bench press here. Went 3 sets of 8 to 12. Felt really good this day for the close grip, so I ended up going 12 reps with a close grip. I feel like it isolates my triceps a little more. It doesn't bug it when I go narrow grip. Just not as strong in a narrow grip. So you'll see kind of the 3 sets I do here. It was 185. It was 65% of my max for the close grip. Once again, using my hands to kind of get me in position there, trying to create that good arch, get into a good rhythm with my bench press. And if you notice that tracker over there on the right-hand side of the screen, that's what I'm talking about. That's what it looks like. It was hard to see in the screen beforehand, but that's what I'm talking about. You'll see some more close-up videos of it later. It's pretty much the entire driving force of my program right now for me and Brandon. If we are not hitting our certain ranges on a certain day, we know we got to dump the weight down. If we're killing it, we can up the weights a little bit. With bench press, I've experimented with something else too. It's my feet. Trying to get my feet flat on the ground. I feel like I can push better, but the only issue I'm having is that my hips are lifting up a little bit when I get in this position. So I'm trying to experiment with it. I might go back to toes. I might try and stay flat feet, but we'll kind of see. I feel pretty good right now with the way it is. I'll play around with it. I'm still 11 weeks out. I'll play with it a little bit. But here we go, my last set of 12. Bar's moving pretty well. Tracker said I was moving just about where I should be. At this point, my triceps are pretty burnt out. These are reps 24 to 36. I would hope they could be they're a little bit burned out. On this day, I did chest supported rows again. Notice I'm really squeezing my scaps there. A lot of times people just kind of row the heaviest weight they can just because it's off the ground. You don't want to do that. Just because you're not really focusing on what we need to work on, which is pulling those scaps back into a good position. You saw some of my accessory stuff there. My upper body day. And then I get into some squats here, the final day of the week. This day I was warming up to, I believe it was 60% of my max. We went 10 sets of 2 with a 45-second break in between sets. This is what you would call a powerlifting cardio, aka fat man cardio. Don't let my looks confuse you. I'm a fat kid on the inside. So this was kind of a grind. Just trying to keep the speed up, because that's my goal, is to keep the bar moving fast. Even as I get fatigued, even as the weights go up, try and move with the intent to move the bar fast. That's so key for me in the squat, because the squat is the one that's come the longest, and I've kind of figured out how to make things work for me. And having intent when I get underneath the bar is going to be the biggest thing that helps me out with whether I'm going to get a weight up or not, or even the speed that I want to get it up or not. It's just having the intent to really, okay, I have the bar on my back now, let's get out of the freaking hole and stand up. That's it. That's all I'm thinking about when I have that bar on my back. Going with a belt here, because, like I said, on Monday I had to do conventional style. My back was still a little bit toasty. So normally this light of a percentage, 60%, I wouldn't go with a belt just because I like building up that volume for the low back. My low back was already pretty torched from conventional deadlifts on Monday. So I'm not going to risk any kind of nagging injury this far out from a competition. So decided to go with a belt just to spare myself. And as you can see, it keeps me nice and tight. I'm still warming up here. I'm not quite at my weights yet. I think I worked up to 295 that day for the 10 sets of 2. Speed moved pretty fast. I think I only missed, out of the 20 reps, 15 were on point, 5 were a little slow. I could tell, when out of the bottom, you could see a few of these reps, I get a little loose. That's going to be the biggest issue when my speed gets affected when I get tired and fatigued with the lower back, my lower back isn't quite there enough to keep me upright, so I kind of get loose at the bottom. I want to try to avoid that by really trying to, almost when you pop out of the hole, almost, I think of it as kind of a kettlebell swing, almost try and drive your hips forward almost as much as you're trying to stand up. It'll help get the hips back underneath you, don't let the bar drift over. Kind of fast forward here through all these reps for you guys, because I don't think you guys want to watch all 10 sets live. I don't want to hear me talk for that long. But like I said, these reps felt really good. The squat's been feeling better and better. A while back, I was lifting in chucks. Started getting some quad tendonitis, so I ended up going to my Adidas Power Lift shoes there that you see. Tendonitis went away. I've kind of been focusing more on dropping straight down my squat, not necessarily shooting my butt straight back. It made a huge difference in my squat. I was able to feel more comfortable, more grounded. Because when I would shift my butt back too far, I feel like I was getting over my toes too much, and it wouldn't feel right. Here you see me doing some front squats with the safety bar. I use the safety bar because my left ring finger, I have something going on with it. I'm not quite sure. Whenever I use a straight bar for front squat, it cramps up and it will get locked up and will almost stick inside of my palm the rest of the day and just be painful. It's just not fun. So I'll get a lot of my volume work for the front squats in with the safety bar. Feels a little bit better on my hands. I already don't have very good range of motion with the wrists anyway, because I said I had that forearm issue. So I use the safety bar to kind of adjust. But look for more training logs coming soon, guys. Until meet.